We are seeing the 7 images from the Bible for the leadership: shepherd, servant, steward, scholar, spokesperson, soldier, and statesman. In this, we are trying to understand how a leader is a steward. So, when you talk about stewardship, we can try to look at the parable of talents. There were 3 people. One got 5 talents, another 2 talents, the third one 1 talent. They were all hard workers. So the 5 talented earned 5, 2 talented man earned 2, but the 1 talented man buried what he had. So this shows the 5 talented and 2 talented men had different attitude or mindset or paradigm, while the 1 talented man had a different paradigm. What was the difference? So I can see at least 5 differences. The first thing is, the 5 talented men, 2 talented men, they saw themselves as stewards, but the 1 talented man saw himself as an accountant. I worked in a government office. One day when I went to the office, there was a commotion. The commotion was because the manager was shouting at the accountant. So the conflict was, the accountant gave money to the driver of the vehicle almost 6 months, again and again, for one purpose. So the driver used to fudge the accounts, bring a bill that he repaired the puncture of a tire of the vehicle. So he did that for 200 times in 6 months. Accountant saw the bill and gave the money. The manager was upset. Why did you give the money? The accountant said, I just see the cash, the bill and the ledger on the balance sheet. If the bill matches the money, I give the money. I put it in the income or expenses. That's all. Balance sheet is balanced. So my work is done. But the manager said, you should give money for a purpose and see whether the money is spent for the same purpose. So in the same way, God gave the master gave 5 and 2 and 1 talent with a purpose. So if the purpose is not fulfilled, he is not a steward. The second thing is, the 5 talented man and 2 talented man had a productive mindset. The 1 talented man had a mindset to protect things. For example, the purpose of God for Israel was to be witness of the law to the whole world, but they functioned as custodians of the law. So what they did is, they added a lot of traditions, lot of sub-laws. They tried to clarify and explain the law. So while they were doing that, they forgot the main purpose of demonstrating and teaching the law to the whole world. Today the church also can do the same thing. The church is not the custodian of the gospel, but communicator and proclaimer of the gospel. So many people, in the process of trying to protect, they lose. So the third aspect of stewardship, which we see the difference between the 5 talented, 2 talented man and 1 talented man, the 5 talented and 2 talented man treated that as asset so that they can multiply the wealth. The other person, the 1 talented man, thought it was a security. So he was thinking of keeping that as for an emergency. So he did not want to spend it. He wanted to keep it for future use. So he did not want to use it or take risk to invest. But the 5 talented men, 2 talented men took risk. They were willing to invest. They were willing to use it. So the 1 talented man, fearing abuse and misuse, failed to use it. So the fourth aspect of the 5 talented man and 2 talented man, and the difference with the 1 talented man is, the 2 people had faith focus, the 1 talented man had fear focus. When we read Matthew 25:25, he says, I was afraid, fear of loss, fear of future, fear of unknown. So with that fear, he wanted to protect it. But the 5 talented man and 2 talented man had faith. So with the faith, they ventured, they pioneered, they went into new territories. So they enlarged their scope of their work and they were successful. So anything that does not come by faith is sin. That's what Romans 14:23 tells us. Then the fifth thing, the 5 talented men, 2 talented men did high leverage activity. The 1 talented man did low leverage activity. So the man with 1 talent was hard worker. Probably he wanted to bury it in a field which was outside the city. So he must have surveyed it probably in the nights so that nobody knows what he was doing. Then he must have dug the field every day in the night when nobody was watching. And then he must have dragged the whole talent because he could not trust anybody else. So he would have gone and buried it. And after burying it, he would have been going there and keeping a watch so that none of the robbers could loot it. What kind of physical work he did, how much time and energy he invested, how much mental and emotional strain was there, but all were unproductive. But the high leverage activity people, the 5 talented and 2 talented men, did what they were supposed to do and did it at the right time, and they were able to rest, relax and sleep in the night. So when we see that the difference between these two, what kind of mindset I have to use God given talents optimally. I have to use it strategically. I have to use it creatively. I have to use it wisely, and I have to use it optimistically. Am I using my talents or am I burying those talents? May God help us to be better stewards.